the day about day game. So I hope to answer a lot of them now. First thing I want to say is day game is easy, and you can all be good at day game. You can all be good at it. And if meeting women in the daytime is something you're interested in, then this talk will be for you. It contains some basic information on day game that will get you out there meeting people. It's functional. There are a lot more advanced concepts that I won't explore here. And we do offer a daytime boot camp, a day game boot camp that runs 4 hours of theory in the morning and the 4 hours intensive, day game in field, if you will. It's usually taking place in a street rather than an actual field. Not a lot of girls in a field, and it's really great. It's really great. Sol runs those, and his day game is off the chart. And I recommend highly you take that. If this piques your interest, then get in touch with Love Systems and try and find out more about that. All right. Without further ado, let's get to it. Opening. I find the greatest consistency and satisfaction using direct openers in the day, such as this. Excuse me, I saw you from over there, or I saw you walking by, or I saw you sat down here, and I'd regret it all day if I didn't come and speak to you, or I'd be kicking myself if I didn't come and say hi. Extend my hand to shake. Hi, I'm Steve. You can put your name in there. Hi, I'm Steve. What's your name? And shake hands. So something like, excuse me, I saw you walking by, and I'd be kicking myself if I didn't come and say hi. I think you look absolutely stunning. Hi, I'm Steve. What's your name? Something like that. Direct. I'm showing my interest up front. These sorts of openers usually open quite strongly, and they provide a good platform for you to launch the rest of the conversation from. And at the very least, it's nice to say nice things to people. And that said, there's nothing wrong with opening in another style, indirect, some sort of functional or comedy kind of opener. And there are tons of available openers you can find online, lots and lots. But I'll give you some more now. Here's a real basic indirect one. You stop a girl and you say, hey, do you know where the nearest Starbucks is? Do you know where the nearest Starbucks is? Or do you know what cross street we're on? Or do you know how to get to here or there? Something like that. Very low risk opener, low risk and low reward too, because you need to transition very strongly to get out of that. Do you know where the nearest whatever it is? Functional, the sort of thing most people would give you some sort of answer to. She's reading a book. You can lean over and say, what are you reading? What are you reading? If she's wearing earphones, you can use the universal sign for take out your fucking earphones and say, hey, what are you listening to? I'm bored of my current playlist, says Sasha in line. And then I like to take the iPod from her at that point and run. I take the iPod and I scroll through and I scroll right back to the beginning. What's at the beginning of almost every girl's iPod list? Haba, that's right, because this is the beginning of Amisha's iPod list as well. That's right, so I scroll right back to the beginning, and I see ABBA, whatever, and I just joke about that. Basically, I scroll through 10 seconds or so and tease about whatever's in her iPod. Now, the guy who taught me day game, in the very early days of when I learned day game, was a guy called Sasha, who's a comedian. And he had me do a lot of things. I mean, I thought he was fantastic, so I would do more or less anything he said. So I think, being a comedian, he gave me a lot of openers which he thought would be funny, but he didn't to watch, but he wasn't sure if they'd really work. Looking back, that's the impression I get from quite a lot of the things he had to do. All right? I'll give you an example. Okay, one time we were in a coffee shop and there was a girl sat there and I sort of glanced at her and he said, do you like that girl? And I said, well, he actually said, do you like that girl? But he's Canadian and funny. So I said, yeah, she's not bad. So he had me do this opener. I walked out of the coffee shop, walked past the front of it where she was sat and glanced through the glass, made eye contact and went like that, came back in and tapped her on the shoulder and said, excuse me, I was just walking by and I spotted you, probably saw me. And she said, yeah. I said, well, I had to come and say hello. I couldn't let a plate of glass stand between me and true love. And she laughed, because it was a joke, right? And it's your laugh is hilarious. I love it. And it was hilariously funny, and she laughed, and it worked great. Okay, that's a kind of a comedy opener. Another time, he had me open with a stuffed rat. That's a toy rat. This was the opener. I saw these two girls walking by. This is the first day game approach I'd ever done in my whole life. He had me walk up to these two girls with this rat and say, excuse me, I had to come and say hi and talk to you because my rat really likes you. I have to do what he says or he shits on my food. Whoa! And then I launched the rat at the girl and like wrap it up in the string and things. That set ended very well, actually. I won't go into the details of how that one ended. But you've probably heard the story about that one. These are crazy openers. The point is you can pretty much open with anything you like. The most important thing, if you want to be ahead of the curve, if you want to be in the game, is to open something. So open. Now, if she's stationary, sitting down, you can just walk over and deliver your opener. Now, in terms of body language, let me show you how to stop a girl when she's moving. Okay, when she's moving. Isabel, yeah. Now, you've heard of probably a variety of different things. And I'll just name check a couple of them. Now, sometimes you'll see a girl will walk towards you, and people will do this, come towards me, and they'll say, excuse me, and they'll try and stop her from the front. All right? That can work. But I find it's not the most consistent method. I'll show you what I think is the most consistent method in a second. Because this is the sort of thing that charity people do when they want you to sign up for stuff. They look at you through the crowd and like, oh no, and you try and cross the road, you try and do everything you can to get away, and then they always get you. So that's kind of what a thing is. And most people just walk straight past the person like that. They just walk straight past. Another method you may have seen is sort of related to that. They come through, you say something like, stop, it's not ready yet. Something like this, okay? That can open as well. But it's not the most consistent one, I found. All right? Here's the most consistent. Why don't you come over here? As the girl is walking away from me, I'll come up behind her, and take two fingers and place them on the inside of the elbow here, or some people like to put a hand on the outside of the tricep as well, very lightly, and the girl just turns this, and I'll say something like, "Excuse me," and then you stop. Excuse me, I saw you walking by, and I'd be kicking myself if I didn't come and say hi. I think you look absolutely stunning. Hi, I'm Steve. What's your name?
Isabel.
Isabel, nice to meet you. Now, what I did there was a few things. As she's going, I'm more or less just a little bit behind side on. I'm not doing this. I'm not reaching and trying to grab, from quite a long way behind. That doesn't tend to work very well. And also, as I turn her, I stop. Regardless of what she does. If she keeps going, I'll stop. And that's really important if you want her to stop. If you sort of second guess it and just keep walking with her, she'll keep walking with you. And then what the fuck are you going to do? You're going to follow her? You've got to stop. You've got to stop her. You can follow her if you like, throughout the city, but it rapidly becomes quite odd, I can assure you. All right? Other thing I do that's quite important is I'll usually do this. Extend my hand and introduce myself. It tends to increase the stop rate. A lot of times a girl will stop and you deliver your compliment or your opener, and she'll say thank you and walk away. That happens. Anyone happened to that before? Has anyone had that happen to them before? A few people. And I find that sticking your hand like this and giving a handshake tends to stop them better, longer. All right? So, thank you. Right, from here you're ready to go into the transition. Now I'd like to make a point about direct openers. I said it's my favorite kind of opener in the day, and it really is. Here's a trap that people fall into with it though. Anyone who's done direct opening before will know that you can get fantastic reactions from it. Fantastic reactions. Girls will be like, wow, thank you. I think the first day I ever tried, during that first day, I had a girl cry. She was having a terrible day. And she started crying, so I just hugged her for a little while, and then we parted ways. I didn't try anything after that. But it's you can get wonderful reactions. Girls can blow up and be like, "Oh, thank you, that's so kind." And the most beautiful girl you've ever seen stood there